Hello, Strafford community. My name is Colonel Craig Manville, and I've been given the distinct honor and privilege to provide a few words as we celebrate Veterans Day. I'm sorry that I can't be there and provide this address in person, but I'm currently stationed in South Korea, almost exactly opposite of where you are in Missouri if you look at a globe. So, I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is, I was asked to speak for about 20 minutes today. The good news is, there's no way I'm going to talk that much, so just bear with me for 10 minutes or so. Before I get too far along, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself. I moved to Strafford the summer before my 6th grade year and graduated from Strafford High School in 1983. I enlisted in the United States Army shortly after graduation and served on active duty for 3 years, then got out and attended college while still serving in the Missouri National Guard. I graduated from the University of Missouri in 1991 and received a commission as a second lieutenant through the Army ROTC program. I've been serving in the Army as a commissioned officer ever since. I've been blessed to serve with some incredible soldiers and in some great units, to include the 75th Ranger Regiment, 82nd Airborne Division, 101st Airborne Division, and the United States Special Operations Command. During this time, I deployed to both Iraq and Afghanistan. My wife Sarah Lynn and I have 4 sons. The oldest is also in the Army and is currently serving as an infantry platoon leader in the 10th Mountain Division. My second son is planning to enlist in the Navy very soon, and my 2 youngest are in middle school and high school here in South Korea. But enough about me. On this day, we celebrate all veterans. I say celebrate because that is exactly what we should do. The freedom we enjoy, the very fabric of our nation, is stitched together by the hands of men and women that go back over 240 years. Hands that have not only fought countless battles, but have also provided much needed help and assistance around the world. This proud heritage goes back to the birth of our country. Take Valley Forge, for instance, where a cold and poorly equipped Continental Army braved shivering cold, like with little food or shelter, and yet overcame these incredible hardships to ultimately defeat what was at the time the most powerful army in the world and win our freedom. Or consider June 1944 and the invasion of Normandy, France. Despite hardened German defenses, over 150,000 Allied soldiers successfully attacked and gained a victory that became the turning point of World War II. But not only battles. The United States military and its veterans have also played critical roles in helping with disasters and pandemics around the world. During Hurricane Katrina, when emergency services and communication systems failed, over 10,000 National Guard soldiers arrived quickly and began working to restore communications, direct rescue and recovery operations, and maintain order. During the Ebola outbreak in 2014, the U.S. military provided medical assistance, critical planning capability, and leadership, playing a key role in gaining control of the outbreak. During the Boston Marathon bombing, veterans on the scene assisted the injured and helped gain control of the situation. I have a friend that received the highest peacetime award that the Army has because of his actions. These are just a few examples. Battle after battle, crisis after crisis, in which American men and women were there to protect and defend our country and provide a helping hand around the world when needed. A few details about Veterans Day itself. It was originally called Armistice Day and was first celebrated in 1938 to honor those that served in the First World War. 11 November was chosen as the date because the war was ended at the 11th hour, on the 11th month, and the 11th day in 1918. It was later renamed Veterans Day. It still falls on the 11th of November, but is now a thankful tribute to all service members who have served in the armed forces at any time during either peace or war. Okay, but what is a veteran really? Sure, we just said they're someone that has served in the armed services. You can also find multiple definitions online or in a dictionary. But if you don't happen to have a veteran in your family or be otherwise close to one, you may wonder what all the fuss is all about. I mean, it's typically a day off from work or school, and most of us are all over that. I mean, who doesn't want a day off, right? But have you ever wondered what it is about this 1.3% of our population that makes them worthy of celebrating? Even as a veteran myself, until I was asked to speak at this event, I really hadn't stopped to put too much thought into it. Well, when I did, this is what I came up with. And please keep in mind that though I am a veteran, I'm in no way trying to pat myself on the back. But in over 30 years of service, I have a good idea what most veterans are like. So here's my take. A veteran is a servant. This is why we refer to military men and women as being in the service. They're a servant to you. They serve you freedom, peace of mind, and privilege. Ironically, they even serve those who choose to disrespect the very symbol of the freedom they fight and are willing to die for. Which brings me to my next point. A veteran is selfless. The essence of selflessness is putting others' needs before their own. And from the moment a veteran raises his hand and swears to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States, a veteran puts others before themselves. A veteran loves. Veterans share a bond and comradeship with each other that most will never know or understand. It is forged in common dangers and hardships, in the knowledge that they can always depend on each other. In the book of John, chapter 15, verse 13, Christ tells us, "Greater love hath no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends." And this is exactly what countless veterans have done over the years. A veteran is proud, yet humble. They're proud to be a part of something bigger than themselves, a worthy and just cause, yet humble, because they know that the military is the sum of each individual and will continue to carry on with or without them. Lastly, a veteran sacrifices, and not just the veterans themselves, but their families. Countless birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, and Christmases, all missed because of training or deployments to faraway places. All this takes a toll, but the veteran has measured the cost and ultimately found that the sacrifice is worth it. When I was in high school and pretty much knew that I would join the service, I found a short essay that I've kept with me over the years. It captures these attributes rather nicely and has always resonated with me. The author is unknown. I would like to close with it, if you don't mind. The average age of the veteran is 19 years. A short-haired, in-shape kid who, under normal circumstances, is considered by society as half adult, half kid, not yet dry behind the ears, but old enough to die for their country. They never really cared much for work and would rather wax their own car than wash their father's, but they've never collected unemployment either. They listen to rock, rhythm and blues, or country in 155 millimeter howitzers. They're 10 to 15 pounds lighter now than they were at home because they're working or fighting from before dawn to well after dusk. They have trouble spelling, thus letter writing is a pain for them, but they can field strip a rifle in 30 seconds and reassemble it in less. They can recite to you the nomenclature of a machine gun or a grenade launcher and use either one effectively if they must. They dig foxholes and latrines and can apply first aid like a professional. They can march until told to stop, or stop until told to march. They obey orders instantly and without hesitation, yet are not without spirit or individual dignity. They're self-sufficient. They have 2 sets of fatigues. They wash one, wear the other. They keep their canteens full of water and their feet dry. They sometimes forget to brush their teeth, but never to clean their rifle. They can cook their own meals, mend their own clothing, and fix their own hurts. If you're thirsty, they'll share their water with you. If you're hungry, their food. They'll even split their ammunition with you in the midst of battle when you run low. They've learned to use their hands as weapons, and their weapons like they were their hands. They can save life or take it, because that is their job. They'll often do twice the work of a civilian, draw half the pay, and still find ironic humor in it all. They have seen more suffering and death than they should have, in their short lives. They have wept in private and public for their friends who have fallen in combat, and they are unashamed. Just as their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents, they are paying the price for our freedom. Grown or not, they are not a child. They are the American veteran that has kept this country free for over 240 years. They ask for nothing in return except our friendship and understanding. Remember them, always, for they have earned our respect and admiration with their blood. They are a veteran. I'd like to offer a special thanks to Lori Phillips, who put together this celebration. I'd also like to give a shout out to all the veterans that may be in the audience today. We share a bond that few will ever experience or understand, and I am proud to be in your ranks. Thank you very much, Strafford, for allowing me to speak to you today. Find a veteran, shake their hand, and thank them, and have a happy and blessed Veterans Day.